Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, listeners. We are back. We are back here. Well, I am back. Me particularly. I am back here on the Street 919 FM. This is Small Dread with a bit more of the youth talk because MC Biggs is not available to come right now. He is in the building, but he has some technical work that he's doing. He's part of our technical support team, and so therefore he is occupied elsewhere. So I'm just here to grace your ears until 2 o'clock when Aisha would come, where Aisha is expected to come and do her show. So anyway, we had a wonderful discussion earlier this morning with regards to one part of how the coronavirus is affecting us here in Trinidad and Tobago. Part of our technical support team, and so therefore I would like to is occupied elsewhere. So I'm just here. I would like to expand on that thought, not in the same topic, however. After listening to the news at 12 and the news at 1, the news at 11 and the news at 12, it appears that this situation is getting a lot worse and a cure or a vaccine is very far away. Newer estimates, the latest estimates said that there won't be any vaccines until next year, October. I remember when the pandemic first broke out, the first estimate was next year, March. What makes it worse is that it seems that the estimates keep pushing back, which is not a good sign. You know, it is not a good sign at all with regards to getting rid of the coronavirus. It is really sad. It is really sad because this is affecting us all in all types of ways. Some people, finances is on the line. Some people's health and family affairs are on the line because they may have people who are infected. Our new numbers are very astonishing. We have 3,000 plus, which is sad because less than 2 weeks ago we were under 1,000. We crossed 1,000 and then we went back to 9 something, and now we are 3,000 plus, and cases seem to be rising, deaths seem to be rising, and you know it's like these people who are not adhering to the rules they really don't understand how serious this is. They really don't understand how drastic this is. I remember a couple of weeks ago, I contracted the virus, not coronavirus, but just the general virus, because because of the climate right now, people tend to forget that there is the regular virus happening. I contracted the virus, and my symptoms was stuffy nose, sore throat, and headache. Right, but for the first day when I contracted it, I also had fever with it. So it was a bit of a sticky situation. So my grandmother I live with my grandmother, and she sent me to the because she's at risk. So she sent me to the health facility, and I was just observing the way in which they had it there, where it's like everybody sit on the same chair, and all these different sort of things, without any sort of sanitation being taken place. So it's like you could literally go to the hospital with just the regular cold and come home with coronavirus. It is that scary, right? And it don't even have to be in the hospital. It could be somebody sneeze on the car that you're in, or in the car that you're in, and you sit down, you touch things that they touch, and you wipe your nose or you touch your face, whatever the case may be. I'm looking at myself on the live, and I realize myself, I touch my face a lot. Luckily, everything in here is sanitized. We sanitize after every single person comes through. We sanitize. But really and truly, it's very sad because it's like we're trying to stop the spread of this coronavirus, but we really and truly do not. Know like how much we just wearing your mask and going out in public, adhering to the little rules that the ministry would have left for us, how important those are. A lot of people make the argument that if you could smell um, somebody passing wind through the mask, then why can't corona pass through? And that is a very, it is a very interesting take on it. But what we have to remember is that, good afternoon everyone on Facebook and on YouTube. We have to remember that on one side you have your mask, so a lot of the bacteria is being stopped in your mask. Then whatever escapes, we have the social distancing where everybody is a certain distance away from you, right? And then they have their mask. So whatever managed to break through, it will stop at the front of your mask. And what would be advised, it was advised, and I just want to reiterate, is that when you reach home, you should wear your mask as if it's an underwear, as in you do not wear the same mask twice until it is washed. You take it off, and you take it off with the front facing. Don't snatch it by the front. Okay, you take it off by the part that goes around your ear. You take it off because you do not know what bacteria it is picking up out there. We have to keep in mind that coronavirus is not the only bacteria out there, and wearing a mask, your mask alone contracts a lot of bacteria, it contracts a lot of dust. To those people who would make arguments along the lines of they cannot wear a mask, please stay home, send someone else out to get whatever necessary you need to get. The face shield is not, I repeat, it doesn't serve any purpose with regards to protecting you from the coronavirus. It is really for people who would come into close contact with people who might sneeze or cough or whatever, so that it don't go into their eyes. But for the regular population who are out and practicing social distancing protocols, the face shield is not really necessary for them as it would be for a frontline worker. Okay? We're getting a call, but we'll get into the calls just now. I just want to relay the urgency that we have, because our cases are rising. And we spoke this morning about how the coronavirus is affecting our education system, which is a very important, a very integral part of our nation, as, you know, it has to do with our children, our future. And so I just really want to take some time to express how serious this is, because it is very, very serious. I remember, thanks to that virus, I actually became more serious with it, because at first I had the mind of what a lot of people have now, which is, no, I'm nah, man, I won't get a man, I strong, I good, a lot of people have that mind until I contracted that little flu I got the other day. And I was wondering to myself while I was in the hospital, while I was waiting, what about if I actually contract this coronavirus and all my loved ones, they won't be able to see me again, because it's not like you could get to go and see a coronavirus patient. So if your loved one goes in with coronavirus and they die, you aren't seeing them again, because they don't do autopsies. They just, they just bury the bodies one time. It's really tragic, and I am telling you, I had a very emotional time dealing with that at that point in time. It was very scary. My girlfriend, she was crying, and my girlfriend, she was crying, and I don't know. It really was a very emotional time for me, well, for us and for my family, because of the coronavirus. Whew, okay. So just please, guys, people out there, please try your best to adhere to the social distancing protocols and please wear your mask. I find it sad that the government literally have to make up a law, because that's what they did. They had to make up a law to protect your life. I find that very wrong. I find it very strange. It shouldn't be that way, right? You for yourself should look at your own family and say, look at your young ones and your elderly, those at-risk persons, and say, I'm looking at you and I do not want you to get sick. So I'm going to be responsible out there. You still see people meeting and greeting, hugging up, liming in the bar, they want to share a beer, and up in each other's face as if it's before. We have to understand that things are not the way it was before. We are not living in the same Trinidad anymore, and we will not live in the same Trinidad again. All right, so we have to let go of that old ideology of, Trinidad is every creed and race find an equal place. Let me live up, and that's like our mentality down here, and that is the real reason why we're having such a problem. People on Facebook are talking about, they are mentioning that we have more cases than Madagascar, right? And they have 27 million, and we have just over 1 million. And I think that goes down to the people, right? The people, we naturally have a very inclusive type of idea, a social systematic idea where we just naturally cling to each other and everything is like a hug up and a lime. Yeah, you ever realize that like every single thing in Trinidad is a lime? A wake is a lime. Everything we make a lime, and there's nothing wrong with that until there is. And right now there is something wrong with that. Mainly because lives are on the line and a lot of people are dying from this. We have 54 deaths now. Last reported, 54 deaths. That should say something. And yet still, people are not... We still have people getting charged for not wearing the mask. We still have people who having... there's a touchy situation there with the parties and things, and who want to have pool parties and all these different kind of things. I don't want to get into that, but we have these things going on, and it is very sad that we have that going on. And yes, it is a shame that we have to invent a law to save your life. All right, people, we must be smarter, we must be wiser than that. Okay? So, good afternoon to everyone on Facebook. Please share the live. Good afternoon. I am back, yes. Unfortunately, Mr. Biggs cannot be here with you right now. He is going through some technical stuff in the back, part of the technical support team. Okay, so we have a call coming in. Good afternoon, welcome. Good afternoon, welcome.
Big grips. Listen now, all right, one of our biggest problems, right, is what a place mankind for eternity. Simple thing called disobedience. From the beginning of time, disobedience plagued mankind. So we don't have to be surprised that they have to make a law for you to live. Because disobedience plagued mankind. Listen to me, disobedience plagued mankind from eternity. From the time God made Adam and Eve, He said, don't do that. That's exactly what they do. So if you couldn't, because He said, what? If you do it, you go dead. But that's just like COVID.
True.
And God told them, and they disobey God. So you want them to obey the Prime Minister? People are they real? This is a problem that will not fix because our attitude and mentality will not change it. We want everything to come back to normal, but we want to behave as normal and do everything we were doing before. Don't we realize that what we were doing before is what caused us in this problem? So that means it ain't working. The definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. Not true. Well, then we have to be insane or stupid, or maybe insanely stupid, to keep doing the same thing and want it to change and get better. Let me show you something. This is affecting everybody because pretty soon, it already started affecting the movie industry. Because if most places don't have no cinemas, who you making movie for?
True.
You understand? The quantity of money you will make from cinema, you won't make it on having it on the internet because, hey, everybody is pirate them things.
True, very true. It's very easy.
Right? So I'm being real, I'm speaking in real language. We broken for that. Let us get pirate. Right? So everybody industry is suffering we continue to behave as if any given Sunday,
Yes, yes. That is the main problem.
I'm noticing something that people continue to do. Hey, all you make a little time for your parents and grandparents now. Why do you insist on carrying the grandparents and the parents to make groceries with you? That is not an outing. What is wrong with all you?
Another
all you
thing.
want to carry them, all you take out insurance for them.
Just to add on what you're saying there, callers, another thing people are doing is that they are shopping around. They know they come for cheese, but they in this aisle and they in that aisle, and it's like get what you have to get and come out.
Look, a lot of groceries have call-in orders.
Yeah, curbside pickup.
But we don't want that because when we get accustomed to when we reach, we see and die. I remember they had an advertisement that the person went to a certain grocery and the husband outside waiting and the wife spent a whole long time, and then she come back out. He said, but you ain't get so-and-so. Oh, God, she buy everything else except what she went for.
Yeah, we have that going on.
Well, that's it. We are custom living like that. That's how they could have make it out with advertisements. Because that is our lifestyle, that's our mentality. And we have to change because the COVID not changing.
It's not. It's not.
Imagine that. Now the COVID remaining the same. He ain't changing. And he very effective.
What? You seen the number of cases?
Yeah.
You seen the number of cases?
Because you know why? One thing I am disappointed in the government for is I am trying to find out what is the income that the bars and rum shop, what is the economic contribution to this country that bars and rum shop just contribute to the economy of this country, that they insist to keep them open. Why did the government take the bait of the opposition? Because we do know, and try as you might, I know it's not Venezuela, but the waste of time Trinidadian man who can't see a penny skirt and leave it alone. Many of them going in the bars and the rum shop and they're plying their trade. Sometimes the people hire them just to be around. And we stupid Trinidadian man just want to go and watch the woman walk around. And I see something the other day. They have the table spaced 10 feet apart. But 25 men stand up around the table line. What
no mask on.
Making, boy?
With no mask on.
What sense? Well, they can't drink a beer with a mask on.
True.
So 25 of them stand up around one table. Because when the man organized himself, he put table 6 and 10 feet apart. So he do his part. But we so stupid. And what is so important about going to the bar to drink a beer, boy? Your life worth it? Your grandmother life worth it? Your mother life worth it? Your child life worth it?
I wonder if testimonies of people who have loved ones who are affected by coronavirus, whether they died or are seriously infected, or if testimonies from these people would help to sway the population into being serious.
Nay, because when it is, I will give you a piece of script here. When we had the situation with Lazarus and the rich man, and Lazarus said, oh God, let me go back and tell my brothers and them not to live a bad life to end up in hell. What he say? He said it had prophets and priests for years, and they never believed them. If you go, it wouldn't make a difference. And that is the problem. So even if the people, you know, there is the situation, I forget the name, what it's called it again, where the sort of, it's not intervention, but it's a program in America where there is ex-criminals come and or even criminals themselves deal and have a little intervention with some of the youths that going bad.
Okay, I'm not familiar, but okay.
They have that going on in America.
You talking about Beyond Scared Straight? Not that.
Yeah, Scared Straight.
Okay,
right.
okay.
In 75% of the time, it don't work. because again, the mankind problem is disobedience.
We prone to it.
If it is we don't change that, I see no survival for people in this country and around the world. And there's a spirit of disobedience going on. I'm sorry to go spiritual, you know, but the root of almost everything is spiritual.
Well, I personally believe that we're living in the last days and things are counting down. So, you know.
Of course. And the Bible shows us that everything is spiritual, because when Christ meet the madmen, they were possessed with demons, right?
Right.
And he can't study it. So even insanity, what we claim as a psychological, has a spiritual foundation in it that affects you physically. So we have to be fighting this on all levels. And my biggest problem with the fact that they're not dealing with the bars is because the bars is the biggest contributor to what? Domestic violence, home breakup, road fatality.
Well, yeah.
But you're still insisting you won't keep them open. When people suffer from ailments because of alcoholic abuse, they come and they put an additional strain on the economy via the healthcare system. So what is the benefit to the country? They are causing a disaster, because everybody knows that 90% of the bars and rum shops just close the doors, have the people park all over the neighborhood and walk to the bar just so they go start having suffer to carry them.
Yeah, and churches are closed.
Yeah, so we can't have service, but we are rum shop packed to capacity.
Yeah, it's a crazy coincidence.
No, it's not coincidence. It's sad to say politics. Because we were getting so much upside down from the opposition, it's easier to give in. Mr. Prime Minister, I am proud of you, but you need a little more testicular fortitude and learn to tell certain people to jump off your back.
Right.
You have to do that, because the country is depending on you. As I said the other day, forget about the civilians and think about your citizens. You understand what I mean?
Talk to me.
Let me explain here. A civilian is one who it is depends on the state to do everything for them. A citizen is one who understands that it is his responsibility to make the country he is living in better. That is the difference between a civilian and a citizen.
Okay, thank you, caller.
Nice, man. Have a nice.
Thank you. Same. So there you have it, folks. Right there you have it. I saw a comment on Facebook here where someone says, stop trying to politicize the coronavirus, because it's not like Dr. Rowley put COVID here. And that is very true. For myself, I am not very politically educated or swayed. I'm not one to go down that road, right? But I would say that I do condemn, not condemn, my apologies. I do congratulate the government on the way in which they have handled COVID-19 prior to the election. We got a spike because of different factors that came into play after the election. Some people has used it to say things like they were lying about the results and now we're getting the real numbers and all sorts of things. And whatever the case may be, we have to face the reality that we have one government now and we have COVID-19. So let us try to make the two coincide. Let us try to live with it and try to make the best for ourselves. We need to, at the end of the day, still protect ourselves and our families from this thing. Because I am telling you, as a grown man, you do not want to see your daughter, or a grown man or woman, you do not want to see your daughter or son coughing out their lungs, coughing blood, can't move, dying, and you can't even as much as touch them. You do not want to hear that your great-grandmother or your grandfather or whatever has died from COVID-19 and you can't even have a funeral or kiss them goodbye. You can't like instances in the case of Berkey. You can't even no, they were able to, but who's to say the rest of the population would be able to demand an autopsy So in cases like that, you don't even know if your loved one actually died from coronavirus or if they died from something else or if they didn't even die of their own self and they were, you know. And that is why we just need to try to keep ourselves out of that whole dilemma as a whole and try to keep ourselves away from it, because coronavirus, as much as you might think is not real and the government bring it here and all these different things, the thing is the cases are saying otherwise. People are dying from this. Look at the world news and how much people in the world is contracted with it. Look at how much people in the world has died from it. All right? And we are seeing the best example is America right now, where they have a leader that do not really care about the population. All right? And they have a leader that is clearly, his mind is elsewhere. And in their cases is a reflection of how much effort he is putting into. And I would like you all to pay attention to our government and how much effort they have put into place. You know, a lot of things that they have put in place, you know, normally we would follow America with a lot of things. They actually aren't. They are actually taking initiative to try to get the number of cases down, because naturally, in Trinidad, as I said earlier, we like to lime and we like to party, but coronavirus is putting us a stop on that. So we for ourselves need to try our best to get the number of cases down, to clean the place so we could open the place back. All of you who want to go and have beach lime, and all you want to have pool parties, and all you want to lime, and all these different kind of things, just adhere to the rules. Let the cases go down, let the place clear up, and we could all go back. We could all go back. This thing is deadly and it is dangerous, and it is not. I'm telling you, I just always look back at that time when I was sick, and just the way how my loved ones respond to it. I could just imagine what people who actually have coronavirus are going through. Okay? It is very, 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 it is very sad. To Mr. Ian, he didn't change. Biggs just isn't available right now. Just filling in for him. Okay? Yeah, really and truly. So I welcome your input, though. I won't condemn or bash you for it, because it's just a misunderstanding. So yeah, Mr. Biggs, the regular scheduled person for this time, he's not here. Okay, so you can call us in at 342-0081 or 466-5391. Also, you can WhatsApp us at 771-1791. And for all of our overseas viewers or callers or listeners, it's 7188743860. If you want to join in with the discussion, if you have anything to say, anything to add, anything to suggest to all of the systems that we have put in place, whether it be to the government or whoever, you are free to call in. Okay. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Peace and blessings. I'm listening to the conversation all the time, and it makes me flash back my mind a little, because up to this morning news, it been said from the opposition that the government don't know what they're doing with the virus, but you must follow the public health ordinance. Now this is the same person who was telling the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago that the sunlight will cure COVID and punching and lime, and the government don't know what they're doing, and all this kind of business, when we now start to deal with the situation of Trinidad and Tobago. But it's the same person who come in to tell you now that the government don't know what they're doing with the virus, but follow the health guidance. What it is we have or what it is we're dealing with as a person wanting to be the government of Trinidad and Tobago. What is we dealing with? This is the problem we have in Trinidad and Tobago. Why we have the situation that we in? Because when one saying, stay home, follow the health ordinance, wash your hands, don't put your hand in your face, X, Y, and Z. Somebody else telling you, don't do X, don't do Y, open the bars, open the beach, open the border. What is this we dealing with, big brother?
Is that level of confusion that would damage us as a society? That is what we are dealing with.
You understand the double-edged sword we dealing with, big brother?
Yeah.
There's a double-edged sword we dealing with.
Yeah.
No, because you're not in control. You feel you have control over the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago to tell them to do the wrong. And when somebody else tell them what is the right thing to do, you telling them that is not the right thing, do what I say. It come like you're living in your house with your parents, but mommy tell you, hell, you see that? Move that from there and put it there. As you bend the corner, daddy say, hey, leave that way it is. So where you going out there and tell mommy now? You understand what we're dealing with in Trinidad and Tobago, big brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is the problem we have in Trinidad and Tobago. And these people want to come to govern you as a government to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. You hear? These are the people we're dealing with here, you know.
Thank you, caller.
Yes, big brother. Peace and blessings, and you be safe, sir.
Same to you, sir. Same to you and your family. And same to all of you listening, and all of, as much as people who are willing to listen, because, you know, not everyone is. It would be amazing if we could all try to gather, I don't know now, it's really hard to talk to people out here, because people just choose not to listen. If you even tell somebody, boy, wear a mask, you be like, boy, why wearing that for, boy, that hard to breathe in. I have a thing. So, well, why just don't stay home? Because I had to go out there, I had to make money, but you'll get charged $1,000. Then police can't catch me. This is the kind of mentality we have. You know? This is the kind of mentality we have. And I think one of our biggest enemies is our minds. Our very own mind is one of our biggest enemies. You know? We have another call coming in. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome.
Hi, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
It shows, listening to the last caller there, it shows the level of indiscipline of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And you know, when we say discipline, we tend to look at the lower class of people, even though the ones in them you think is just a parties and whatever.
Yeah.
That Bayshore line could be deemed as a Zesta party. Same way as you're the one that you saw.
Yeah, very much so.
In other places. But you think they should know better, because we hold these people with the of high society and the children and a high esteem, you know, that they can't do wrong. And that's part of the problem. That's part of the problem of our society. Because it's from top to bottom, nobody cares. I mean, I always say that, you don't need a law to tell you to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And what is the right thing? Because we know everybody have their handheld phone, everybody has internet access to some sort of internet at some point in time. Everybody will sit down and listen to the news. This is a world thing, so you must be interested. If there is no cure, the scientists and them are baffled on how this thing is being, or how it works. So that is why they're trying to get this cure, because they still don't know how it works. Even the World Health Organization, which we have taken our guidance from them, telling us what to do and how to do it, through the Ministry of Health and the experts and then like the Chief Medical Officer and all of these, giving all the rules. Okay, well, let's do this, let's do that, and things go on, and they realizing that they can switch it and tweet it. The government implementing it. But you have citizens who are saying that the government don't know what they're doing and they this and that.
Yeah,
and
just critiquing left, right, and center.
Telling the citizens, you know. So they're punching and lime and all this other nonsense. And then they are the ones who putting themselves around the country, and they're telling us all these other things. and they're not even trying to get on board to support in whatever way, because you said, a political leader said that she received 300 and something votes, so she had 300 and something followers. 300 and something thousand followers, or whatever it is. I mean, come on, we can't be living in a society like that. I don't, the commissioner don't have to be telling the police and them to go to this house to stop a party here and this, that. We should know that we're not supposed to have that. And I've been saying this, there's no cure for COVID-19. But there's prevention. There's prevention for it. And what is the prevention? It's to wear your mask.
Yeah, just adhere to the rules. Just adhere to the rules.
Yeah, sanitize. And take other decisive matters in order to keep the spread down. Like, if you don't have to go, you don't need to go.
Yes, very simple. Very simple.
Let me go on the block and stand up on the block, and you go in here and you go in there and you're meeting somebody there, and you just forgetting them because you're going to get a man a bomb. You bounce him, you think.
Or to tell him something that you can tell him over the phone.
Yeah, so, I mean, come on, that is what I'm talking about. You don't need a law to tell people to do these things. I don't know, and people just continuing, and now the spread getting just escalating, and it could have been much worse.
Thank you, Kola.
But then again, you're blaming other people for your stupidity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kola. Yeah, it's really and truly that simple. When you go in a public bathroom, they shouldn't have to tell you not to do it on the floor. It shouldn't have a sign anywhere that telling you not to do it on the floor. You should know that. Same thing with here. They shouldn't have to tell you to wear your mask to protect your own self. It should just click with you one time. It's like, okay, I have to protect myself and my family. Let me wear my mask. And people, please, I'm seeing a lot of comments here on Facebook that is speaking about that is making it sort of political, and please, it is not. We have to face this problem as a country, as a one people. Our national anthem speaks about every creed and race find an equal place. In spite of what the post-election comments may have said or proved about us as a people as to where we stand with that statement, I would like for us to face, at least face this as a people and as one, because this has to do with our lives. It has to do with our financial stability as a nation, as a business. It has to do with us, our children, as they go about school. It has to do with every aspect of our lives. This is very important that we try our best to adhere to these social distancing protocols and wearing your mask. I am telling you, hugging up your long lost cousin, your cousin who you have seen a while, hugging them up is not worth your life, because you know where they have been. You do not know what they are doing. Another thing that would be wise to implement in your homes is that whoever is to come to visit you, if they have to, or unless it's really necessary, if they have to, make them walk with a change of clothes, especially if they have to travel, because they are out there in the public. Make sure that they sanitize themselves. They don't have to bathe and all of that. But once they change their clothes, sanitize their hands and whatever part of them that may have touched, like wherever they have been. Ask them to sanitize themselves. It could help. It could help, It is not like a guarantee safe or guarantee COVID-19 proof plan, but it does help a bit. I have a call coming in. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome.
Yes, sir. Sorry to call again, but one thing I have to say about COVID, I want people to listen very carefully. The treatment for COVID, let me tell you how the treatment for COVID works. For all those people and them who are outside and don't understand.
Okay.
They are supposed to tube down your throat to get the air inside your lungs and to get the misting that to keep the coal moist so it doesn't start to harden inside your lungs.
Okay.
And then they flip you upside down. They put you in a coma. That is why the infirmed and the aged, they suffer and die. Because if you have a high blood pressure or low blood pressure and you stoop down and raise back up sudden, you just feel like you go faint. Ask anybody who have high blood pressure. you have sugar that damage your heart, you will not survive the treatment. You have a heart condition, you will not survive the treatment. You have asthma, you will not survive the treatment. I ain't saying you might not, but you will not. Because the rigors of the treatment is so intense, it has to be as intense as the devastating effect of the disease. So you have heart, you have sugar, you have COPD, you have asthma, you will not survive. You have high blood pressure, low blood pressure, you will not survive. So to all these stupid people out there who figure, I'm strong, you will not survive.
Thank you, caller.
Because plenty people believe that they're big and stronger, but they didn't survive. Have a nice day.
Thank you, caller. Wow. That very interesting. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome.
Hello. I have been listening to that caller. He always seems to be more knowledgeable than the whole world. I'm not saying that he is incorrect, but he is not God. He cannot know who will survive or not. A lot of illnesses happen. Some people's metabolism might be stronger than each other, their DNA. It has a lot of things to do with our metabolism and our DNA as well. It's not just only because somebody has asthma or I have asthma, but I have faith and I have belief I'm doing the correct thing, but I have faith that if anything should happen, I will survive. He's in no position and he feels he knows everything. I'm sorry to say that because he comes on angry, like he's the most knowledge, like he knows more than God. I'm sorry to say that.
I honestly appreciate what happened there. Caller, I'm not sure if the Wi-Fi dropped or something. I'm sorry about that. But I didn't hang up on you, just to make it clear. But I do appreciate the temperament in which he delivered his message because it gives a sense of urgency as to what exactly we are really facing. Okay, you have another caller. Good afternoon, caller. We have a minute.
I don't think the caller was arrogant at all. He just stating the fact of what could happen.
Yeah, I honestly see it as he bringing across the message with a sort of urgency.
Okay.
You know? Okay. Wow, okay. They just called to defend the caller. Caller, I see you calling back. But I don't really have time to take much more calls right now. We are almost into the breaks, so I'll just read some comments on Facebook. Okay. To all of those who are sending links, I would like if you would probably type the message that these links are talking about, because I won't be able to open them where I am right now. Okay, so I do appreciate the enthusiasm in the topic because it is a very interesting topic, one, and it is a very important topic. Okay, I'll take one last call. Good afternoon, caller. You are live. You have under a minute, so you got to make it quick. Hello. Good afternoon. Hello. Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Well, that didn't work out. Okay. Okay, we are out of time, unfortunately. But I will once again urge everyone to please stay safe out there. This COVID-19 is not a joke. It is not a game. It is nothing to laugh at. I could assure you. I am telling you, I had the virus the other day. It was not COVID, but it was scary. It was very scary. Okay? So please, try to keep ourselves safe, keep our families safe, and just try to live good out there. Everyone, God blessings to each and every one of you. Okay? This is Small Dread signing out with Youth Talk here on the Street 919 FM. Okay, we're heading straight into the ads. Goodbye.
Day Talk. You talk. Come talk with us on the Street 919 FM. The gospel of the kingdom